All right, new year, new you. Reducing stress is the foundation for good health, from serious concerns like heart disease to weight loss, even strengthening your immune system, which is interesting. Jennifer Robinson can help you become stress-free. We're so glad she's back with more on her peaceful living wellness programs. Jennifer, good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Erin.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me back.
Yeah, you're a wealth of such useful information for all of us, and I know your coaching programs can help people, like walk them through the process of living stress-free.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, so I want to start with, reducing stress. It's such an important foundation for health. And I know there's so many other ailments, like you think you have something else and it turns out it's just stress, right?
Right. So recent research has been finding that stress is really the foundation for much of the disease that we talk about in our society. So whether you're talking about heart disease or diabetes, even the common cold can be stress-based, because stress and the stress hormones lower our immune system. So there's been some great research going on out there with many of our Western medicine researchers, and they are finding that if we bring in different techniques from the Eastern philosophies that reduce stress, such as meditation, yoga, but really just mindfulness-based stress reduction, that people are living healthier and happier. And that's one of my goals, is to really help people become happier.
I want to get some, because you had some statistics you sent over, some points. I want to get those up on the screen.
Yeah,
because,
great.
It was surprising to me, some of this, like the serene life. You've got optimism and purpose provide 20% reduction in stress-based diseases.
Yes.
What do you mean optimism and purpose?
So this comes out of Harvard, which is one of my favorite resources for stress-based and health-based research. And what they have found is that people who have a more optimistic outlook on life, people who have a sense of purpose in their life, that they have 20% higher probability of being healthier. They live longer lives, they have less disease, and they have a happier outlook as well.
Yeah, so this all sounds great, but sometimes we struggle, like, how do I find that optimism? How do I find that purpose? And that's like the steps that you will walk us through.
That's exactly right. So my path to becoming a coach to help people with their stress management started back when I was getting my doctorate in political science. And I was so stressed out. I know, I did a 360. No, 180
I
actually.
imagine that was very stressful.
It was, yeah, see, it was so stressful that my hair was actually falling out.
Wow.
And I went back to my roots. My mom, when I was a little hyper child, took me to yoga. And I went back to those roots and brought these different techniques into my life. And then turn them into something to help other people.
So you have start each day with gratitude, practice patience. I want to ask, because we hear this word a lot, mindfulness. You have used mindful communication. What do you mean by that?
So mindfulness is a practice that is, again, an Eastern philosophy, but it has been brought into our Western culture by a fabulous man named Jon Kabat-Zinn, and it means being in the present moment with what you are doing, thinking about what you are doing. So with mindful communication, we start with the idea of, how is what I'm saying going to be received by the other person? And we think about, what are the effects of what we're saying? And that seems like, oh, how do I go through that whole process when I'm having a conversation? But with practice, it becomes really easy.
Sure.
Mindful communication, we also start with empathy and thinking about, well, where is this other person coming from?
Good point.
In his or her life.
A lot of times we don't think of that.
Yes.
And this is what you have, your whole Peaceful Living Well Life coaching program. Where can people go for more information? Like, you have helped so many people achieve, stress-free living.
So I am doing this either in person here in the Charleston area, or actually 90% of my coaching is online. And I do it over video chatting. And they can go to peacefullivingwellness.com to find out more about me, more about my program. I also have a lot of blogs on there that people can read and say, oh, do I like her? Do I like what she's saying? Yeah.
Yeah, go read through the blogs first, peacefullivingwellness.com. And you also have just launched, and this is very interesting, a program for teens and tweens.
I am
Sometimes we don't think about
excited about this.
their need for it, but they need it. They need coaching.
So I have a teen and I have a tween. And
are they difficult?
Yeah, and I just see through them and their friends how stressful their lives are and how much more stressful they are than when I was a teen.
Oh, I'm sure social media.
Social
adds
media.
A whole
Absolutely.
lot of stress.
And also just the pressures of school are just really a lot more these days than they were back in the olden days.
All right, we're running out of time. I could talk to you all day, but
I
good
know.
to see you again.
Thank you so
We've got
much.
the phone number on the screen, but most importantly, go to peacefullivingwellness.com to find more information about Jennifer. Contact her today. And we've got more Low Country Live right after this break.
But now we're stressed out.